Most businesses don't have a people problem. They have a measurement problem. Because what you measure is what you get, and a lot of teams are being paid, praised, and promoted for activity, not outcomes. So you end up with busy dashboards and empty pipelines. Marketing did leads, sales did calls, finger pointing, you know which one I'm talking about. Service on project, fighting fires while leaders argue about numbers, and a forecast that basically looks like a horoscope. Hello there, my friend. Welcome to the CEO Soapbox Podcast, episode number 15. I am your host, Neda Farzad. This is where we say the quiet part out loud about leadership, growth, and the messy reality of running a successful business without losing our mind. If you are running 6, 7, 8, or 9-figure business, you already know how to hustle. You know how to push. You know how to get it done. But you can't scale on hustle. You scale on truth. And KPIs are meant to give you truth. The problem is, in a lot of businesses, they don't. They give you pressure. They give you politics and a bunch of smart people doing dumb things because the system rewards it. So here's the core idea for our episode today. KPIs don't just measure behavior, they create it. And once you see that, you start blaming people and you start fixing the scoreboard. Now, let me make this clear from the start because this is a bit leaders miss. You see, when a KPI becomes a target, it stops being a measurement, a measure. It becomes a game. Not because your team is unethical, because they're human. So what's actually happening in your business? If you reward activity, you're telling people, look, I'm not fully sure what good looks like, so show me some movement. And people respond exactly how you expect them to do. They fill the pipeline with junk to hit lead targets. They book meetings with anyone to hit meeting targets. They discount to close deals to hit revenue targets. They rush delivery to hit throughput targets. They close tickets fast to hit ticket targets and then reopen them next week. And leadership doesn't always see it right away because the dashboard looks busy and, quote mark, under control. But under the surface, what's really happening is quality is dropping, rework is rising, margin is getting squeezed, customers, they're getting annoyed. We don't want that. And teams are quietly blaming each other. Which leads to the classic scene I walk into all the time. Marketing, we hit the lead number. Sales, they were shit leads. Marketing, we delivered what you asked for. Sales, we did the calls. Delivery, service team, we can't fulfill what you sold. Finance goes, margin is down. And CEO, everyone's working so hard. Why does this feel like we are stuck? Here's the brutal truth. Everyone is technically right, and the business is still wrong because the scoreboard is broken. And if you ever felt like your leaders are arguing in circles, it's usually not personality, it's measurement. So, before I go on, a quick check-in with you. What's one metric in your business that people hit, but you still don't feel safer as a leader of that business? Because if hitting the metric doesn't reduce stress or increase confidence, or obviously outcome, it's probably not the right metric. Let me give you a real boardroom moment. So I was sitting with the leadership team CEO, sales lead, marketing lead, ops lead, good people, smart, hardworking. Not a toxic culture, just stuck. Marketing was proud. We doubled leads this quarter. Sales was furious. And if you're a salesperson, I can see you rolling your eyes. These leads are garbage. Marketing pushed back. We delivered what you asked for. Sales said we called every single one. We did the work. And then ops jumps in, basically saying, honestly, thank God you didn't close the deals. We're already drowning. So the CEO looked at me like, so who is the problem? I said, no one is a problem here. Your scoreboard is the problem. Because marketing was being rewarded for lead volume. Sales were being rewarded for call activity. And ops was being rewarded for just surviving the workload. 3 teams, 3 scoreboards, 3 definitions of winning. Separate definition of winning. So everyone did their job. And the business still lost. Here's what changed everything. So we stopped tracking leads as the win for the marketing. Everyone agreed on one definition. Qualified opportunity. Not a name in a database, not a click, a real buyer with a real problem and a real budget. Then we looked at the conversion rates across the whole flow. Within 2 weeks, the conversation shifted from your leads suck to 4 questions. Which sources convert? What qualification standard are we using? Where are we losing good prospects? What's the fastest lever to pull this week? Same people, same effort, different scoreboard. That's the power of measuring the right thing. Now, I want to show you why this happens so often, because it's not just one bad KPI. It's usually a pattern. So I'm going to go through 4 KPI traps that I've seen. First trap, comfort numbers. The stuff that looks good but doesn't predict cash in the bank. Followers, impression, website traffic, engagement. And listen, whoa, marketing team, marketing leads, I get it. I'm not saying they don't matter. What I'm saying, that they're not performance. They're often emotional relief for leadership because it feels lighter to talk about reach than it does to talk about conversion, margin, or churn. Trap number 2, volume without quality. This is the one that creates a busy business that somehow never gets ahead. More leads with lower conversion, more meeting with lower show rates, more proposal with lower close rate, more tickets close with higher rework. It's the system saying more, while the business quietly bleeding profit through rework. And here's the truth for you. Volume without quality is basically telling the business speed matters more than standards. And that's why activity-only KPIs don't just fail to help. They actively create the mess you're trying to solve. Let me show you what that looks like on the delivery side. So, another example. I worked with a company where the delivery team was getting hammered. Constant complaint, constant urgent. Leadership kept saying, we need faster turnaround. So what did we do? They measured tickets closed per day. And on paper, it looks like a win, right? Tickets closed went up. Everyone clapped. Dashboards look busy and impressive. But 2 weeks later, the CEO called me and calls me and says, it's weird. We're closing more tickets than ever, but customers are angrier than ever. So I asked the question, are the tickets staying closed? We pulled the data and it was brutal. A huge percentage were being reopened. Same issues, same customers, same recurring problems. So the team wasn't delivering faster. They were moving problems around faster. And here's the part leadership didn't love hearing. The KPI turned customer service into a factory line. People started choosing easy closes to hit targets. So they rushed responses. They avoided messy issues. They closed the ticket to win the metric, not to solve the problem. So we changed the measurement. Instead of tickets closed, we tracked first time resolution rate, repeat issue rate, and the top 3 reasons tickets existed in the first place. And then we did something that made everyone uncomfortable. We love that, don't we? But fixed the business. We made one leader responsible for reducing the top repeat issue. Not managing the inbox, but eliminating the cause. Within a month, trust me, tickets volume dropped and customers' complaint dropped without hiring anyone. Why? Because we stopped rewarding speed and started rewarding outcomes. That's the shift. That's the whole point. All right. Now let's build a scoreboard that avoids this mess in the first place. So what to measure instead? Here's what I use across industries again and again because every CEO, director, or exec understand it instantly. Pipeline, conversion, capacity, margin, retention. That's the truth scorecard. And it works because it forces the business to be honest about the whole system, not just one department's wins. Now go through them. Let's go through them. So pipeline. Do we have enough real demand? Not leads, real opportunities. Conversion. Is the engine healthy or is it leaking? Capacity. Can we actually deliver what we sell? Margin. Are we building a strong business or a fragile one? This is important. Retention. Did we actually create value so they can stay with us or buy from us or refer us? Now, this part is where the leaders either level up or keep living in a finger-pointing land. Because even with the right scorecard, businesses still break when every department has its own version of reality. So let's fix it. One scoreboard. This always been what I always been saying. If you're following me on anywhere on social, one scoreboard. If sales and marketing don't share KPIs, you've built conflict into the system. And if the service, project, or delivery team isn't part of the scoreboard, you are selling promises with no operational consequences. Shared KPIs doesn't mean everyone owns everything. That's vague and useless. It means the hands-off are measured. Sales and marketing share, qualified pipeline value, conversion from lead to qualified opportunity, win rate by source. Sales and delivery team share deal quality, which means scope, feasibility, margin standard, margin sold versus margin delivered, rework caused by scoping. Marketing and delivery share promise versus experience. The top reasons customers churn or complain. Because you got to remember, sometimes marketing says something and delivery is totally different. You see, this removes hiding places. And yes, it makes people uncomfortable. Good. Because comfort is not the goal here, okay? Performance is. Now, once you got the right scoreboard, there is one more piece that makes or breaks everything. How to use it, right? So, This is what I recommend: weekly and quarterly reviews. So numbers turn into actions. Most leadership meetings makes me frustrated because most leadership meetings are update meetings. Everyone talks, nobody decides, then the same problems show up next week wearing a different hat. So, here's what your weekly review needs to be: a decision room. Not a presentation, not a storytelling circle, a decision room with a simple format. Look at the scorecard, what moved, what didn't. Number 2, pick the top 2 or 3 constraints worth fixing this week. Number 3, decide what you are changing. Number 4, assign an owner and a due date. So, rules that save your time. If it's green, move on. If it's red, don't explain it to death. Decide the next move. And if there is no owner, my friend, it's not real. No owner, no date, no due date, it's not real. So that was a weekly one. Now on quarterly, you zoom out. That's where you stop drifting. You look at trends, root causes, capacity planning, resource planning, margin pressure, and what you are stopping next quarter. Because if you don't stop things, my friend, your strategy becomes a hoarding problem. This next piece matters more than the scorecard, more than the meeting structure, more than any dashboard. Because this is where KPIs become culture. What leaders must stop rewarding starting this week. You see, KPI dysfunction is not a dashboard issue. Are you ready? It's a leadership behavior issue. So here's what you stop rewarding immediately. Stop praising busy. Busy is not a flex. Busy is often poor priorities. Stop celebrating activity as performance. Calls don't pay, revenue does. Leads don't pay, deals do. Tickets closed don't pay, customer staying does. Customer referring you does. Another one, stop letting teams pick metrics that makes them look good. Your job is to ask, if this improves, does the business improve? And what behavior does this create? Don't be afraid to ask hard questions. Also, stop tolerating numbers theater. If a meeting ends with a decision, an owner, and a date, it was a performance. And stop promoting people who win personally while the system loses. That's not a leadership, that's a self-optimization. So here's the line I want you to remember. You don't get what you want. You get what you reward. Quick one, and be honest with yourself. Who in your business right now is being rewarded for looking productive while the real outcome stays flat? Don't name them out loud. Just notice it. Because once you notice it, you can fix it. All right. Let's land this with something you can actually do this week. I'm going to share a simple KPI reset checklist with you. You ready? Let's do this. I want you to list all of your KPIs. Then label each one, activity or outcome. For activity metrics, what outcomes does it connect to? Cut vanity metrics down to nice to have, not winning. Build a truth scorecard. Remember we talked about pipeline, conversion, capacity, margin, and retention. Add shared KPIs across handoffs, sales, marketing, delivery, project. Everyone is involved. Run weekly and quarterly reviews that force decisions. Decide what you will stop rewarding immediately. Give every KPI definition, owner, target range, and a trigger action. And the final punchline. If your KPIs don't create clarity, my friend, I guarantee you they will create politics in the business. And that's painful. Thanks for hopping on the Thanks for hopping on the soapbox with me today. Always great to have your company up here. If anything I said resonated or made you go, interesting, go ahead and subscribe or share this with someone who would enjoy it too. Want to keep the conversation going, or maybe you think I deserve a little friendly pushback? Either way, let's connect. You can find me on LinkedIn. Just search for Neda Farzad, and that's NEDA Farzad, or Instagram and Facebook under Neda Farzad Official. Wishing you an amazing week ahead. Until next time, stay curious and stay kind, especially to yourself. Bye for now.